right, I think we'll get started. Dan, if you're okay with that.
That's great.
Awesome. Wonderful. So welcome everybody. This webinar is going to be on how to create and share high quality volleyball recruiting videos. So this is definitely a major topic in the volleyball space right now, and should be throughout your kids, your clubs, recruiting process, up until they get into that college level. And then usually those college coaches take it from there, with all the video film breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. A little bit about myself. My name is Paul Munoz. I live out here in Huntington Beach, California. Grew up playing volleyball for about, 20 plus years. I was fortunate to play at Long Beach State. Played with the national team during the Quad of Beijing. Played overseas for a couple of years, and then when I was done playing, what do you know? I started my own volleyball club. So I ran that for about 9 years out here in Southern California. My goal and philosophy was always to give back to the kids what I gained from my playing experience, and then I coached through the ranks from junior college all the way up until finishing my last season on staff at Long Beach State, winning a national championship. So volleyball is my life, and here I am at Sports Recruits, volleyball director, dealing with all of our volleyball clubs and accounts that we have, and making it the best experience we can. So awesome! Thanks for having me, and then off to Dan.
Yep. Hey, everyone. I'm Dan, one of the co-founders of Balltime. Played volleyball my whole life as well. Never at the same level as Paul did, but it's always been a huge part of my life. And I'm very fortunate to have started Balltime about a year ago. And we're the first video and analytics platform for volleyball entirely using AI. And here today to talk about the integration that we have with Sports Recruits, which is brand new and very exciting. And Paul, thanks so much for having me tonight. I'm really excited about this.
We are excited for sure having you here too, man. Having the first ever AI integrated video platform affiliated with Sports Cruise is pretty remarkable, and we're proud of you, and we're happy to be the first. So moving forward, awesome. Let's see, here we go. Some things on the agenda for tonight we're going to go over initially the importance of video. Number 2, best practices for highlight reels or skills videos. Number 3, how to review film for highlight reels and skill videos. Number 4, what to do with your video. Number 5, video from ball time to Sports Recruits and the simplicity of it all. And number 6, happy to answer questions either for ball time or for myself or for Sports Recruits. There's a Q&A button up at the top that you guys can go ahead and click into. And then you will be able to ask away, and we'll try to get to all the questions, okay? The importance of video. Like I said before, video is hugely important in the recruiting space. I think you parents or older club directors that are on this remember the days of sending VHS tapes out to universities through the recruiting process, like myself. Now everything is simplified and more organized for you guys to knock it out of the park. Sports Recruits video stats. So our Sports Recruits, as you guys know, we're big on analytics. We want to break down everything and see what's the best usage for you guys, what's the best usage for the college coaches and their engagement. And we have come up with this. So college coaches are 11 times more likely to send messages to athletes with video on their Sports Recruits profiles than those without. Sports Recruits athletes with video are 3 times more likely to commit than athletes without video. Pretty self-explanatory. If you're using Sports Recruits, you got to have that. That's got to be your priority, to have that 1 to 3 videos initially off the bat on your profiles, so that when college coaches are viewing your stuff at tournaments, they're clicking on your profiles. Boom, there's your videos right then and there up at the top where we have it. Very accessible for those college coaches.
Yeah. And so, to the question, why is video so important? We say in this space that video is really the fuel of the recruiting market, because video is the best way to represent, your athletic abilities, your volleyball IQ, and in general, just, the best representation of yourself to college coaches. they obviously can't be at every single live event. So video becomes the way that they can notice you and that you can get on their radar to get recruited.
Wonderful. Recruiting necessities. Student athletes need an online presence. I think with social media and the ability to transfer videos over to college coaches and profiles and all that kind of stuff, it's more important now to have that online presence. You got to think of SportsRecruits as your LinkedIn for your, job, your volleyball skills. You're moving up to the next level. Host all important recruiting information, grades, stats, video, schedules, everything is on these profiles. And so it's important that you are filling those out. Makes it easy for college coaches to evaluate you. So you having that profile, boom, they're on it. They're then being able to check to see if they are of interest to them, makes it very accessible to these college coaches.
Yeah, so there's another, byproduct of using video and creating the recruiting videos, which is the fact that video analysis is used by pros at every level essentially to improve their game and to make them better players. And we've found that that's also something that is very prevalent in the youth market. Essentially, analyzing film, going through your practices, going through your games, trying to find patterns, trying to analyze how your teammates are doing, what the opponents are doing is really an important part of the process. And so using video can also be, throughout the journey, a big piece of what will make student athletes better players, and something that we really, beyond the kind of transactional creating those recruiting videos, using video is something that, you can do with your coaches, you can do with your teammates, and will ultimately make you a better player and increase your chances to get recruited.
Number 2, best practices for highlight reels or skills videos. Highlight reel or over skills video, right? Highlight reel, in-game moments, shows your reaction to a play, a positive play, a negative play. College coaches are going to look at those little nuances and see if you're going to be a good fit for them. Skills video, great. It shows a specific skill, but I believe that college coaches want to see more of the in-game play versus a skill, right? You have a skills video, you're crushing line 20 balls in a row, wonderful. No block up. Hitting nice cut shot, wonderful. No defense there. So a skills video is great, but highlight reels are definitely what college coaches want to see. This means footage from games, scrimmages, and tournaments. It's much easier for a coach to visualize you with their program if they see you in action. There's a stigma against professional videographers, and you don't need that. And I think it's simple to say. Everybody's got an iPhone now. Everybody's got a digital phone. They can go ahead, put it up on the end court. I guess speaking of where's the best footage for a volleyball game would be on the end line, middle of the end line, up high if you can, if possible, kind of angling it down onto the court. Be your own professional videographer. You don't need to pay somebody a ridiculous amount to go ahead and do that for you. Again, consider your aim. Go ahead. Yeah, Dan.
I was going to say, Paul, I think even and you also have, that experience of having been the club director, et cetera. But I think when we talk to college coaches, a lot of them actually don't really like the super edited videos where there's like a lot of distractions and arrows and, those really like sleek looking videos. College coaches just kind of browse through them because they just don't really, it's a distraction. They just like the kind of, organic video that is just kind of cut up with all the best plays, and they don't really need any of those like professional edits, and they don't even want to have them on the videos. That's like a lot of the feedback.
Dan, how much time do you think a college coach spends on a video that they're looking at for an athlete?
So I think because I was reviewing the slides before that, I know the exact number. I saw the three
Seconds.
Yeah, it's just like the first few seconds, and that's pretty much
That's it. And so you spending all this money on a professional videographer, the college coach is going to look at the first couple seconds of that and see if that athlete's going to be a good fit for them. I think that's inevitable. Consider your angles, right? Choose an angle to showcase your movement and makes it easy to identify which player you are. Film from an end line behind your team's service line works best. Coaches want to see the entire play develop and see your movement throughout. I can't stress that enough about how many college coaches I've talked to that actually look at the response of the athletes during a play, whether a libero gets an amazing dig and then the setter fumbles the ball a little bit. What's the reaction from that libero? Is he still supportive? She's supportive, or head down, shaking her head, his head, however it is. But yep. Dan, do you want to take this?
For sure. So I think, conciseness is also something that's really important. And I think having the ability to choose the right plays for the video demonstrates, first of all, it's helpful for the college coaches to kind of be able to not have a super, super long video to review. And I think it also demonstrates from the athlete the ability to know what your best plays are. And so I think that's really why, the selection of the best clips is one of the most important parts of creating those videos. The order in which you also create the highlight video is going to be super important, because as Paul just mentioned, the college coach is going to be browsing through a lot of film. And so having those, those bangers and those like best plays that are way at the top and way at the beginning of the video is incredibly important, essentially. And I think that, taking into account that order of things, it is recommended to put all of your best plays at the beginning of it, and to then add shorter clips after, if you so choose to.
I was talking to a college coach at the last tournament that we were at, and I remember them saying, man, I couldn't believe the setter sent me a video of all of her attacks, and it was all of her hitting, and there was very few of her setting. And I was like, yes, that's a little interesting. That's definitely unique in a sense. So make sure they apply to your position and what you want to showcase and highlight for your position. How to review film or highlight reels and skill videos. How to pick the best clips. Athletes should be the one to review the footage. Make sure the athletes are the ones breaking it down, reviewing as you go. Mom and dad could be great to review, but maybe they're not fully immersed in the volleyball world and maybe don't know what would be considered a good pancake or a good dig. 5-star system, video should only have 4 or 5-star clips. So those would be like your best clips. Be honest with yourself. Get a second opinion. Reach out to your college coaches. I'm sorry, your club coaches. That's what you pay them to be, is to be your support system. As long as you put in the work, I can almost guarantee you that they'll be more than happy to watch a 3-minute, 2-minute highlight reel that you've made from them. Get their opinion. Let them say, if this is a good clip or a bad clip. Make it short and sweet. Data average viewing time for player videos is 3 minutes and 18 seconds, 15 to 20 clips max. Leave it at that. Have it all dialed in. And then what I recommend, order does matter. Like Dan was saying, put your best ones in the front in case they get to that off the bat, and then shorter clips at the end. Also, I wanted to make note, having your highlight reel, make a couple a year, right? So make one in the beginning of the season, one in the end of the season, and then keep that one on, and then show your growth throughout the years that you are playing club. Always having them kind of throughout your profiles throughout the years. Dan, do you want to talk about the attackers and setters?
For sure. So I think in terms of best practices, and that's also something when we kind of dive into the Balltime platform, we've wrote a couple articles about how to create a good highlight video, and we also have templates per position. But I think, in essence, it goes back to having those player specific videos that really highlight the applicable plays. And the example that Paul used is a really good one. If you're a setter, you need to send a setting video and not an attacking video. So I think when it comes to attackers, it's important to show the range that you have and the ability to kind of hit line, hit cross, hit cut shots, play intelligently, including the transitions. And it's also about, the out of system kills is a really good point as well, because it's showing the ability to not just obviously, hit when you're up against a small blocker
Or
alone,
with a perfect set.
or with a perfect set, exactly. And choosing the plays where you have multiple contacts is also great because it'll demonstrate your ability to, kind of transition into a play and then into an attack. For the setters, it's kind of the same idea, which is always going to be to send, a variety of sets based on good passes, bad passes, in system, out of system. And a lot of hustle plays are also great for setters. On the libero and defensive specialist side, same thing. It's always better to kind of start with clips that will showcase like your movement and your footwork. If you're playing multiple defensive positions, try to highlight those as well. And variety of being able to pick up doing big digs on big hits, running around the court and getting up those little balls is also going to be great. So it is really about showing variety and really trying to front load your video with like the best plays for each position.
Yeah, I think in the very end at the bottom it says this is a really good key fact. If you play multiple defensive positions, include them. And I know outside hitters sometimes play middle back, sometimes they'll play left back, liberos as well. And so if you are playing multiple defensive positions, put those in there. And then obviously if you have multiple contacts in a defensive play, amazing. Let's keep that going. Let's show that footage so it shows how you respond and you react to every movement, okay? Wonderful. What to do with your video. All right, Sports Recruits, streamlined communication. The Sports Recruits database contains college coaches' contact info for every athletic program in the country. I can't express how useful this is, both as a player, a parent, and a club director, a former club director, right? My biggest pain point when I ran my club was that I didn't quite know all the Division III NAIA coaches, right? I didn't have sports recruits when I ran my club many moons ago. If I would have had sports recruits, I would have given these athletes that were more of those D3 NAIA school caliber athletes, I would have given them access to every college in the country. And I feel like that was a fault of mine that I'm happy to share right now, where sports recruits gives you full contact information for every college in the country, all the way from junior college, all the way up to Division I and everything in between. A tracked link to your profiles included in each of your messages. So as a college or as a club director or a staff member, you're sending an email out, you're going to have a direct link back to your digital locker room, whereas the athletes are going to have a direct link back to their profiles. So let's say, hey, they open up your email, boom, they click on your profile link, it's going to take them straight there. All messages are delivered to a college coach's sports recruits inbox and directly to their personal inbox, whether that's Gmail, Outlook, etc. Complete transparency. This is a huge perk to having sports recruits and our authenticity of being transparent through the whole recruiting process. Everything is tracked and you get to see the exact interactions for college coaches onto sports recruits. So you're going to be able to see when college coaches are viewing your profile, your video, your transcripts, your press links. You're going to get texted a message that says, hey, Auburn University just viewed your video or your profile, etc. It's remarkable with that complete transparency. Maximizing your recruiting presence. So with their athlete discovery tools, college coaches have the ability to filter athlete searches and feeds based upon the info available on athlete profiles. So what's that saying is that when you're building out your profiles on sports recruits, you're making sure that you're putting your GPA, your video, your class year, your position, your state, so that when college coaches, they actually have a tab, a filter tab that they can search for athletes of their needs based off of these topics, class year, position, GPA, stats, etc. So with that, also comes the videos visible to these college coaches. They also have a tab. So every demo that I do for a club director is always stressing the importance of filling out your target list of schools or your favorited schools tab on Sports Recruits. Because when college coaches log in free, it's free for every college coach to use Sports Recruits. Nobody has to pay for it on their end. They actually have a tab that says favorited athletes. So they can go ahead and click into, and boom, it's going to show them now a list of all the athletes that have favorited their school, which will help simplify their search as well. So if you haven't already filled out your favorited schools tab, I highly recommend putting in 10 fit schools, 10 reach schools, 10 safety schools, at least starting from there. So that gives you a perspective of the amount that you can reach out to. The most exciting part, video from Balltime to Sports Recruits. We are so pumped on this integration. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. So I will take over. Oh, Paul, can I take over the
Yes,
screen
of
share?
course.
Awesome. All right. All right, awesome. So the reason that I've been invited to join this webinar is to talk about the integration between the two platforms, Balltime and Sports Recruits. And I think one of the things that excites me the most about this integration is the fact that video in the recruiting journey we've established as one of the key components of it. But the realization also comes that video takes up a disproportionate amount of time in terms of the editing, the creating the highlights. And if you're doing everything manually, it eats up a lot of the time that would be better used on a platform like Sports Recruits, finding the schools, emailing the coaches, figuring out the programs that are right for you or for your athletes, figuring out which programs are lacking a position that your athlete might be able to fill. And I think one of the great things that this integration brings is the fact that what Balltime enables is really to be able to create these highlight videos very quickly and very efficiently, which in turn should free up more of your time to be spent on the kind of qualitative analysis of the market and where you should be going to college and curating the profiles, making sure everything is up to date, reaching out to the right people. So I would really say that, if we can bring, in my opinion, the biggest value that Balltime brings to this integration is the ability to, do the video much quicker than before and spend more of the time on the other pieces of it on a platform like Sports Recruits. So what is Balltime? Balltime is the first ever volleyball video and analytics platform that is entirely powered by AI. Most of the people on the team are volleyball players, so that's why we like to say that it's created by players for players. And the first ever product that we launched about a year ago was individual subscriptions for families on their recruiting journey to help them create their highlight videos. This is before we started working on analytics, on stats, on reports. This is before we started working on our team packages with a lot of the coaching tools. So, we always have a special place in our hearts for these highlight videos because that is what helped us launch on the market. And that's what created, that's what made Balltime go from an idea to a fully fledged company. So, three key words here, I think, is easy, fast, and user-friendly, which is really not what you would say if you're creating highlight videos using manual tools. And today, Balltime is used by 500 families on the recruiting journey, as well as over 100 top organizations in the US, youth clubs, universities, and high schools. So we have, as I mentioned, individual subscriptions and team packages. And I think the unique thing about Balltime in terms of the technology is because we're using a fully automated software to do all of the video breakdowns, we're able to do these on individual subscription basis, which are essentially going to enable you to tag one player and to then do automatic video breakdowns to get all of the plays of one player automatically generated. And we have a very easy to use highlight video builder to enable that. Whether you are on a Sports Recruits individual package, a Sports Recruits team package, or a Balltime individual or team package, the integration with Sports Recruits will work no matter what. And it's very easy to just go on our website and to start a 2-week trial with no credit card. So, at any point in time, just feel free to go on our website and to just kind of get started and see how everything works. question that we get asked a lot is it really AI? And it is. So, what Balltime is essentially is multiple AI models that we've trained, and I'll kind of show you this visual afterwards, to really understand volleyball footage as a human eye would. And that is what enables us to do really fast turnaround times. It only takes an hour for a video to process. To have our smart AI filters in place, which enables you to filter on a player and a specific type of action. And it also works on practice footage, which is not necessarily something that's recommended to put in those recruiting videos, but it is something that you can leverage if you want to kind of do practice analysis and do performance analysis on those practices. So now I'm going to kind of move over to a quick video explainer of what the technology does, and then we'll dive into the platform, and I'll show you how to create a video highlight very quickly and kind of run you through all the different features that are there. So this video here is interesting to show because it shows you what's happening on the back end and what our AI models have been trained to do in terms of analyzing and understanding the footage. So I'm going to show you this video. This is not something that you'll ever find on the platform, but this is a visual representation of what is going on when you actually upload footage to the Balltime platform. And as you can see here, what we're doing is that we're tracking the players, we're tracking the ball, we've trained the models on understanding what is an attack, what is a pass, what is a serve. We also have positional data, and we have a lot of other pieces for the statistics and all that stuff. That's more on our team packages. So the way to understand this, and I think it's visually pretty self-explanatory, is that we are trying to do what a human eye would see using computer vision and machine learning. So once this footage is analyzed and processed, it goes onto our platform, which is, again, something that we've really designed both for parents and for players to be as easy as possible to use. We have a mobile app, so it's very easy to record from your phone and to upload it directly there. There's no need for special hardware. Any smartphone in the past 4 years will be sufficient to upload footage to Balltime. And once that's done, about an hour later, you can go into the actual video player that has been analyzed, and you will see everything that gets broken down like this. So one of the first things to know is that we remove all the downtime from the footage. Volleyball is between 65 and 70% of downtime, which means that when you upload 1 hour of footage, it actually gives you the output of roughly 15 to 20 minutes. So even for video review, to rewatch your games, it just makes everything much quicker because you can watch your full game in roughly 15 to 20 minutes. And so the first thing you'll see here is that we have the rally view, which is essentially going to be rally by rally broken down. This is, I would say, for the recruiting videos, this isn't necessarily the most relevant because it is better to kind of have videos that highlight skills. But if there is one rally in which one of your players just has a crazy rally and you want to throw it in there, you can do that here. But the more interesting piece is to go to the actions, and we're going to see now how to single out all of the plays of one player. So this is a video of me from last year, I believe, and in this particular game I was playing setter. So I'm going to head over here to actions, which, as you can see here, we have a list of different actions that are tallied one by one, and this is what's going to be the basis to create our highlight videos. But now the more interesting piece for me is the ability to extract the player frames that I really want to get to. And the way that that works is a visual recognition system that's going to prompt me to click on a few frames in which I appear, and that will then create the filtering view. So when you go onto the video, you're going to be faced with this screen, and you will be prompted to click on the frames in which you or your player appear. And from there, as soon as we start clicking on a few frames, the AI model is going to be recognizing the similarities between the different frames and is going to be pulling frames to the top in which it thinks I am. So I need to do that visual confirmation, which again is simply going through the frames, clicking on the frames in which I appear. When you've done roughly 6, 7, depending on the quality of the video, that is good. So I'm just going to do a quick browse through now and make sure that I'm not in any other frame. Once that's done, click on save and finish. And here I now have the ability to filter on myself, which can give me a view that's going to show me all of my actions. And here I can start going through them and finding the best ones that I want to include in my highlight video. It is also possible on this video, it's not going to be that obvious because I'm playing setter. So a lot of the plays that I'm involved in are sets, but it is possible, specifically if you're an outside hitter, you're going to be able to filter both on, let's say, attacks. So I'm going to do like sets and serves. You can do so like a, two-tier filtering here that you can kind of move. And so the goal here is to kind of quickly browse through all of the different plays in which I'm involved in, start looking for the best ones, and to start singling them out. I am simply going to be clicking on the star icon here that's going to be saving a few of the best plays. So I'm just going to do this real quick. As an example, I'm not going to review all the plays right now, but let's assume that these are my best sets. And then I might want to get a few serves in as well. So I'm going to put those here. And now I can start really working on my highlight video. So the way to do that is to go to your start section, open it in the highlight builder. And here we're going to create my awesome highlight video. So here in my highlight video builder, I've obviously pulled some plays from this game, but the reality is that I'm going to be at a tournament and I'm going to have, let's say, 4, 5, 6, 7 games maybe to pull through. And I definitely want to create, the best of the best. So I want to go into all of my different videos and find the best plays that are associated there. So what I can do here in one spot is that I can go to my other game here, and I can repeat the same operation, which is to filter on my plays. And then here, I'm going to also be reviewing these. And I can add these plays here to my overall highlight video that's on the right-hand side. So I'm going to do that for a few of these, which means that, and you can repeat this operation with all of the videos that are uploaded in your video library. So if we use the use case of a tournament, let's say that, you get back on Sunday night, you start uploading the footage. If you take care of it on your way home, you can have all the videos as early as Sunday night to start creating your highlight video. And so as I go through it, I'm using this example because in this game I was playing outside hitter, so I have a couple different plays that are there. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of them here in the fold. I see here that I'm starting to build my total highlight video is 2 minutes. So this also kind of gives you a tally of where you are. And now I want to sort them in the order of which I need to create my video. So let's say I'm a setter. I'm going to put my sets first, and then maybe my serves, maybe my attacks afterwards. But just for the demonstration purposes, I'm gonna pretend that I'm an outside hitter, and I want to put my attacks first, my passes second, maybe then my serves. So by doing this smart clip sort, it's going to reorganize all of my plays in the correct order. And you see here that we have attack, receive, serve, and sets, which is the order that was listed in the smart sort. And from here, a couple different pieces that enable me to edit the plays and add a few seconds. I can also label my, best hit of the day because I want that to be at the top. And then here I can see that, this serve, maybe it was an ace. So I'm going to rename this as well and put it, more towards the top. So we can really just, move things around, label them, and really just create the perfect highlight video that you want to do fairly quickly. And then we also have a lot of additional visuals here, which is going to be the ability to add your all-around plays slide and all of the different transition slides that need to be in a video. These are also going to be going in the right location of the video directly. So because I know that I've sorted this by attacks, it's going to essentially put the attack slide at the top over here. And then if I want to put in my passing slide, I can put that as well here, and it's going to be slotted right there. And I can also, once that's done, I can put in my intro slide builder, my intro slide, which you can build on the platform. And that's going to be the ability to put your name, select your position, add your jersey number, and then add also all of the little pieces of information that need to be on your intro slide. So, high school, club, anything that you need to be there can be included on the intro slide. And when it's done, you can basically throw it in to the video. You can also import your own if you want to make it a little bit prettier than the default one that we have. And once that's done, you just add it to the highlight video. That's going to go at the top, and you now have your fully formed highlight video. So obviously, in real life, it takes longer than this to do it, but I just wanted to show you the system and how easy it is to kind of take the clips that are pre-made for you, to find the best. Oh, that was a good hit. And to essentially just kind of keep building your highlight videos. The goal for this is also to be able to create more highlight videos, because the thing is that it is, as Paul said, it's good to kind of create videos as the season unfolds, because coaches want to see evolution. They want to see and they want to know that you are at like one of the biggest tournaments and you created a highlight video from there. So the goal is really to kind of enable faster creation of these highlight videos. And when that video is done, you can choose to export it, and that will essentially enable you to download it directly. You can also connect it to your YouTube channel. If you have a recruiting YouTube channel, you can simply sync it directly on the platform. I'm not going to show you how that works because it is very easy to do, but you basically log into your YouTube account and you create a connection there, which will then enable you to export the video directly to YouTube. And as it relates to Sports Recruits, we have the exact same system, which is that when you do the syncing of your Sports Recruits account, you will have the ability to share that video directly there. So again, I'm not going to show you exactly how that works, but I'll just show you this quick video to show you that, you know, all you need to do is continue to Sports Recruits when you're in your Balltime account, and then you'll be prompted to log into your Sports Recruits account that will create that sync. So here we're just kind of, you know, showing a few frames. As soon as you see this prompt, which means that you're connected, you will have the ability to simply click on export video right here. And the video that you've created will be brought into your Sports Recruits account directly. So as you see here, this is my Sports Recruits account. These are videos that I've uploaded directly from Balltime. And the only thing I've done is simply click on that button and the video is diffused directly there. So in terms of additional pieces that are interesting and relevant to recruiting, we also have the ability directly through a very easy share link to share full match videos with college coaches. So should your athlete, or should you get a request from a college coach to get access to, let's say, like a full set or a full game to kind of watch full footage, you can easily click on this button here, the share button, copy this link, share it to the college coach, and the college coach will not only have the ability to watch the full game broken down with no downtime, which makes it quicker, more efficient, and a more pleasurable experience for him or her, but they will also be able to go into the actions and to filter on all of your plays that are there. So this is obviously more of like a second step, and it isn't necessarily like directly related to college recruiting videos, but those are additional sharing options that are embedded in the platform directly. Going back now, and apologies for talking so quickly, but I just want to make sure that I hit all of the different topics that are there. There are a couple other features here at the top. We have some recruiting tips. So we have created articles and resources that are directly embedded in the product to help you understand what are the right formats for videos. So we have per position recommendations that we've taken from college coaches, that we've taken from recruiting coordinators, and it basically just kind of gives you ideas for different plays to include in these videos with the ideal durations, the orders, etc. We also have what we've found to be a really good article that really describes what makes a good highlight video. So these are all, again, if you're ever in doubt, they are directly on the platform, so you can just find them right here. And now moving on from the recruiting side, we also have a couple of additional visual pieces and video creation pieces that are, this one is more on the fun side, but it can be leveraged if you have a recruiting Instagram or something like this. This is not what will ultimately really push the needle in terms of college coaches seeing the videos and deciding that you know, you're an interesting prospect. But this is essentially our vertical reels feature. which is the ability when this annoying ad will stop playing, which actually I might just use as a very quick piece now that this ad is playing to say that we don't have any ads anywhere in Balltime. So any video that you share with college coaches will not be interrupted like we are right now with this pixel ad. And so the point I wanted to make is that we have a automatic vertical reel builder directly embedded in the platform. And this is the ability for using our ball tracking system to create native vertical reels that can be applicable for Instagram, for YouTube Shorts, for anything like that. And it creates the illusion that you're essentially panning, but all we're doing is tracking the ball. This is more of a fun piece. This is also something that is eminently social and meant to be shared with friends. It can be to highlight a really long rally that you've played. It can be to highlight like your best attacks. We have a lot of players that are using this to post on social and Instagram to share it with their friends. And I will say that it is also an additional piece that brings people into the product, into using Balltime, because that fun element is something that players really appreciate. So this is just another little piece that we've integrated on the videos. And finally, another last one, and this is, I'm going to do a small segue more specifically related to setters, which is a feature that we launched a couple weeks ago, and this is setting trajectories. So if you create a setting video with only sets, and you then click on setting trajectories here, and you click on export video, the output that you will receive will be a video that will show you a visual representation of all of your sets with a different outcome that will be highlighted in a different color according to if it's an assist or an in play. Also, just something that is helpful for the performance analysis and the review. Again, another little feature to kind of add on the highlight videos, not something to be included in the recruiting videos, but just like an additional little piece that's there. There is as well right now, when you're doing the filtering on the actions, we do not have the outcomes of the plays. You have to go through them to see and to find them. We will be integrating before the start of the club season outcomes on the plays. So the ability to filter not just on attacks, but also on kills, and not just on sets, but also on assists. And so that should also significantly speed up the process of finding the clips, because the filtering view that you'll be able to do will essentially look something like this, where you'll be able to, actually, I think I have an example. It will look something more like this, where you'll be able to do a filter on both the attack and the kill, which again just kind of speeds up the process in finding the best plays. And yeah, so that's there's a couple other pieces here to the platform, but as it relates more specifically to the highlight videos, the goal again is really to make this process seamless, easy, quick, so that you can really spend the time doing the research, doing the work, and kind of trying to spend more time in other aspects of the recruiting journey instead of spending 5-6 hours creating one single highlight video. Paul, anything I'm forgetting, or
I love it. No, that's great. Thank you. It's kind of it's interesting because the amount of hours that I had spent on creating my own highlight reels back in the days are long gone, but nowadays this is cool. Yeah, go ahead. Anything else, Dan?
No, I just apologies for the if you felt like I was going very fast, it's because I was. I just wanted to kind of demonstrate all the features. I will just say that in terms of getting started, we have a lot of like how-to videos, and when you upload the first video, everything just really makes sense, and it is really easy to use. Creating an account is as easy as just going on the website and creating a free account in which you can upload as many videos as you want. So super easy to get started. And despite the fact that I was really speeding through this demo, I promise that it's very easy to create recruiting videos on Balltime, and even easier to share them into Sports Recruits, where you will ultimately have access to all of the college coaches in the country.
Will you allow me to share my screen again?
Absolutely.
Cool. And then we're going to start going into Q&As. If you guys, we had Well, we had about a couple good questions in there that I was able to answer during the meantime. If anything else pops up, now would be a good time. Let me do this real quick. Dan, I don't know if you want to go through those questions as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm seeing
to see
their.
my answers, I think are pretty
Yeah, I think
spot on.
the music on the videos, I think, is the, kind of the same thing, as long as it's not like super distracting or super loud. That's kind of what I've heard. Um, Individual consumers, I think that's also, it is available both on Balltime and on Sports Recruits. As it relates to the Balltime subscription on individual consumers, it will essentially allow you to tag one player, and that's the difference with the team packages, is that we have the full rosters, whereas for individual accounts, it is the ability to just tag and see one player. Mm-hmm.
My daughter plays multiple sports. Can sports recruits be used to highlight multiple sports? Yeah, absolutely. So we give you guys access to, I mean, well, we have every sport offered at the collegiate level. So if you already have a sports recruits profile specifically for volleyball, then what you would need to do is speak to somebody and figure out a way to, hey, having two different logins for another sport that she does play in particular. Um, Yeah, what else? Can my daughter submit videos and full games from her Huddle account? If in regards to this one, if you're talking about sports recruits, 100%, yeah, we are compatible with Huddle as well. So they can go ahead and upload their videos as simple as copying and pasting the URL to their sports recruits profile. Great questions. I think that this might be a ball time
Yep. So
questions.
Lonnie, on the iPad, absolutely. We have an app that you can download from the App Store. The in-app recording will be available in December, January. But for now, you can record on the iPad, go into the app, and simply upload the footage directly from there. We have a lot of users who use iPads for their recordings and uploads.
Yeah, there's as far as videos on iPads as well for sports recruits, you can go ahead and do that as well on sports recruits. As far as besides sports recruits, what are the other best platforms for volleyball recruiting? Yeah, so platforms is a great usage of word, and that's what we are. We're a software company. And so I like to say we're a software company versus a service. So nobody on our end reaches out on your player's behalf in order to get recruited. It's 100% player and coach driven, and that's what separates us from the other platforms that are out there. Great questions. Awesome. I'll leave it up for one more minute, and then that will conclude our webinar. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask away. If you, yeah, more than
Yeah.
welcome to.
Hey, Brett. So 4K essentially is we downgrade 4K video to 1080p. 4K is just really heavy to upload, to analyze, to process, and it actually has too many pixels for it to make a difference in the analysis. So there's no file size limits, but anything recorded in 4K will be downgraded to 1080p for the analysis and for viewing on the platform.
So I'm assuming that this could be for sports recruits. Um, yeah, it's definitely, I've never heard of anybody using it for dual sports. Whether or not they'll be frowned upon, I'm not sure, but in that school search tab, it will be sport specific for that outreach to universities. So the seamlessness of searching a school for that sport, sending them a message um, directly to that coach for that sport specific is kind of out of the window if you have multiple videos from other sports onto the platform. So yeah, I've never heard of anybody that has dual sports on their one individual profile. Right. Any last minute questions? These are all awesome. I really appreciate the engagement. This is awesome. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So the the cost for Balltime for individual subscriptions is $240 per year, and that includes 200 hours of video analysis, the tagging for one player, and the ability to do both practice footage, game footage, and all the features that I showed you there.
Awesome. Do college coaches actually use Huddle, or are Instagram and YouTube combined with sports crews do the job? Gosh, from my own personal experience, both as a coach, as a player, college coaches that have used Huddle are using it for their own teams for film breakdown before ball time has entered the picture. So, with that being said, um, having just a sports crews profile is going to allow that engagement to those college coaches in real time, and you're going to be able to see when they view your profiles, your videos, your transcripts. So with that, YouTube combined with sports recruits is going to do the job 100% for you. Are college coaches interested in high school highlights or primarily club? Highlight's a highlight, absolutely. If you guys are playing in a big match for your high school or you have some great plays, thanks for the question, Kevin. Include that into your highlight reel. Most likely the college coach won't be attending your high school matches because they're always only at the club matches and the club tournaments. But if that's going to be something you could put into your highlight reel, yeah, throw it in there for sure. Dan, do you agree with that?
Yeah, we've seen. I was just going to add that we've seen so many highlight videos that were created during and are still being created during high school season, and you know the first three users that use the integration between Balltime and Sports Recruits created amazing high school highlight videos. So I think that as long as it's a good highlight video, it's great to have.
Nice. Any other questions popping up? All right. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Again, thank you for your time, Dan, for explaining what ball time is and the integration. We're pumped for this integration, as well as hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about making highlight reels and how sports crews can help benefit you and the has-tos and the what-to-dos through the process. We thank you, and all right, we'll see you at the next webinar.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Paul. Thanks so much.